After Jesus told his disciples that he was going to be rejected by the rulers of the Jews, be killed, but 3 days later be raised again. And after he told the crowds and his disciples that if they wanted to come after him, they were going to have to deny themselves and take up their crosses and follow him. Jesus said in verse 38, "For whoever is ashamed of me in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him will the Son of Man also be ashamed when he comes in the glory of his Father with the holy angels." Jesus is referring back to a vision of Daniel, recorded in Daniel chapter 7, verses 13 and 14, in which Daniel said, "I saw in the night visions, and behold, with the clouds of heaven there came one like a son of man. And he came to the Ancient of Days and was presented before him. And to him was given dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all peoples, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom one that shall not be destroyed." What Jesus is saying then is that if someone was ashamed of him in the midst of that adulterous and sinful generation in which Jesus was going to be rejected and killed, then Jesus would be ashamed of that person when he received his throne and his everlasting kingdom. And that was going to have immediate ramifications. Jesus said to them, "Truly I say to you, there are some standing here today who will not taste death until they see the kingdom of God after it has come with power." Jesus was about to receive his throne. He was about to receive his everlasting kingdom. And if someone refused to stand with Jesus when Jesus was being rejected, then Jesus would refuse to acknowledge them when he was king. Now, Jesus has already received his throne. He is already reigning over his kingdom. We know that because Jesus said there were some standing there who would not taste death until they had seen the kingdom of God come with power. And so the question for us is, how will we respond knowing that Jesus is reigning on the throne? Will we still refuse him? Will we still fail to acknowledge and submit to him? If so, the Son of Man will be ashamed of us as well. And to not submit to the King is to stand outside the kingdom. To stand outside the kingdom is to be in rebellion against the King who is coming back in judgment one day. And for the person who would do that, it spells ultimate disaster.